Hi, one of the perks of my job is that I can spend a good few hours having to play with espresso machines and justify it in the name of work. And I spent this morning having a bit of a play with this little beauty, which is the Rocket Cronometro Espresso Machine, which has been produced as a home machine. So in this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the features that you can expect to have with a machine of this nature. So this is the Rocket Cronometro Type R Giotto. There's a lot going on there. Rocket's the manufacturer, Cronometro is the model, and specific to this model is that it's got a shot timer built in. The Type R refers to the rotary pump that's inside. You can get a vibratory or a rotary version of this machine. And the Giotto refers to the design of the body, the look of the body, this kind of beveled edge design. I just think it's a beautiful machine. And I'll be honest with you, I've really enjoyed messing around with this for the best part of a morning. Let's start with the water reservoir. So to add water into the machine, at the top here, you've got a removable lid, and inside we have a removable reservoir. It's a pretty decent reservoir on top here as well, which will keep you going. You can actually plumb this machine in as well. There's a little switch inside here, and you can, if you've got access to plumbing, you can plumb it directly into the mains, and also the drain can be plumbed into a drain. The rotary pump is so quiet. If I turn this machine on, it's got such a quiet pump. It's got a single boiler machine, so just one boiler in here, and the water for the groups is heated via a heat exchanger system. Now, the boiler inside here is controlled using PID technology, which means it monitors the temperature in there and makes small fluctuations, and that means that you get no kind of huge differentials in temperature inside the boiler. And one of the beauties of this machine, behind the drip tray here, you're going to find a little display telling you the temperature inside the steam boiler. It's reading 121 degrees in there, 120 degrees, as it fluctuates between heating and cooling cycles. That's the temperature of the steam in the boiler, which relates to a specific temperature at the group head. And you can alter the temperature of your boiler, which means you can play around a little bit with the temperature of the coffee you use to brew, or the water you use to brew your coffee, which is a nice little feature. It's a 1.8 litre boiler, so you're going to find there's ample in there to be able to make shots, steam milk, which you can both do at the same time. There's plenty of power in this machine. The steam on this side, got great steam, really powerful, and you'll find it really easy to nicely texture your milk. You've got hot water tap on the right-hand side here, so you have access to plenty of hot water. Now, the one thing you have to understand with the Rocket machines is that the shots are controlled by this lever here. Now, it's not a lever machine, it's just a control feature. This lever is on a bit of a cam, and that engages a switch at the back here. So it's not your lever machine that you associate with controlling the pressure at all. It's just a way of switching the machine on and off. You can actually use the lever as a bit of a pre-infusion, because you can get to the halfway point, and just above it, you can allow water to come through without engaging the pump. And then if we go fully on, we engage the pump and the pressure ramps up straight away. You have to stop the shot every time. There is no pre-setting any buttons on this machine, and there are three ways to approach this. Firstly, you can do it by eye, which I probably wouldn't recommend. You could do it by looking at volume on a shot glass, which some people do, but my choice would be to make your coffee onto scales and stop it at a set weight. What is really nice about this machine is when you stop the shot, the liquid stops very, very quickly. There's not much drip through at the end, so you can be very accurate with your espresso weights. One of the nice little features of this machine is on the panel here, there is a shot timer. So every time you make coffee, you're going to see the shot time here. The groups themselves, I mean, this is a commercial setup here, without a doubt. You have got 58mm group here, and you've got this, it really is. You look at a commercial espresso machine, it's called an E61 group head, and that refers to this traditional design of the group head. There's a lot of metal here. There's a lot of heat here that's going to help you make nice, consistent espressos time and again. And even the portafilter itself, it's a hefty weight to that. They haven't skimped anywhere along the lines in terms of the materials used to produce this part of the machine. You really do feel like you're using something solid and substantial when you're making a coffee here. And it is really close to the sensation I get when I'm using the bigger commercial espresso machines we have in our training room. There's a nice little touch underneath. You have an eco mode in this machine, which means that 90 minutes after the shot was last made, it will turn itself off. So if you're not sure whether you're going to make another coffee later in the day and you go off and do something and forget about it, an hour and a half later, it will just turn itself off to save power. And the boiler inside is nicely insulated, so it's going to keep its heat really, really well for you. Making a coffee, it's just such an enjoyable experience, I have to say. Made a lot of coffees on here today. The whole feel of the groups, the engaging of that lever, the shots look beautiful. It makes sensational looking coffees. I use the MDH grinder from Victoria Arduino next to this. I did swap the basket out because I wanted to put a VST basket in. I like using VST baskets, so that's the one change I made from the standard setting that comes with the machine. As with all machines, there are a couple of things that bug me about it. They're not the end of the world. They're kind of my personal things that, oh, if only I could change them, I would. One of them is I hate these plastic clips on steam ones. I tend to like having rubber seals here. So personally, I would swap those out because I just think they look a little bit cheap and a little bit disappointing. And the one thing that kept catching me out is when I'm making shots onto scales, it's quite easy to push your scales too far back and you push them under the exhaust part of the machine itself, which means when you stop your shot, your exhaust water drops straight onto your scales. That's minor. Believe me, it doesn't affect how I feel about this machine. I just have to learn to make sure my scales aren't pushed as far back, maybe as I would when if I was using a different machine where that exhaust is hidden out of the way. Steam-wise, it's fabulous. You've got a really powerful and strong steam wand here. I was able to foam milk after milk after milk. In fact, I did about 4 jugs, one after the other, and there's plenty of steam here. So there we go. Just some of the features of the Rocket Cronometro Espresso Machine. It's a real beauty. I've really enjoyed using this machine. And if you've got any thoughts, comments, questions about it, please feel free to get in touch. Happy to share my thoughts with you. In the meantime, I hope you have a great day, and thanks for watching.